you see what the media is trying to do. They're trying to pit President Trump and Elon Musk against each other. But what's really going on behind the scenes? Well, Elon is putting pressure on Congress. And he's saying what a lot of Americans are thinking, what the Angle has warned about, that basically, why aren't we cutting spending and making these DOGE cuts permanent?
I was disappointed to see the massive spending bill, frankly, which increases the budget deficit, not just decrease it, and undermines the work that the DOGE team is doing.
The Senate needs to act on this. President Trump said he's willing to see any changes. Cut spending in this bill. Make the DOGE cuts permanent. Sources telling Fox Digital that the White House is expected to send a $9.4 billion package of spending cuts called rescissions to Congress next week. But that's just a drop in the bucket, too. Here to weigh in, Vivek Ramaswamy, Ohio gubernatorial candidate. Vivek, is Elon right? Does the big, beautiful bill undermine what DOGE was all about?
Well, look, I think the DOGE cuts need to be made, but as you pointed out, Laura, that's $9 billion against the backdrop of a $36 trillion national debt, on track to become $60 trillion in 10 years, with a $2 trillion deficit each year. It's like picking a barnacle off the back of a whale. We got to deal with the actual issue at some point. We're going to have the courage to take on independence from the federal entitlement state. That's what we actually need to be talking about. And I personally believe that everything else ends up being a distraction from the real topic of dealing with this national debt issue. Ask the question of how we're going to start with a generation of Americans who hopefully becomes so wealthy that they don't need the federal entitlement state that Lyndon Johnson created. And at some point, we're going to have to muster the courage to take that on. Until we do that, I think everything else is mostly a distraction. And one of the things I'm looking to do in Ohio is to set up a model for how we wean ourselves off that entitlement state while creating wealth in the process.
Well, I mean, I'm always shocked when people are shocked that Washington never wants to cut spending. Like, people, have you not seen what they've done? And this is $3.9 trillion added to the federal deficit. And what I think some Republicans hope, wishful thinking perhaps, but maybe some of it's true, is they hope there's going to be so much investment that that's going to override this concern about the deficit. They're going to grow their way out of this deficit and interest rate debt bomb problem. But to me, that seems like very wishful thinking.